Let's do some laps.
You just hit the fastest lap.
Labas, nu. Tai jau mėnesį laiko, kitą savaitę prisijungi, man atrodo. Bet jo, okei, all good. Tai Sebringo vis dėlto nevažiuojat? Okay, tires are toast. Let's try a different approach. I forgot as well. We'll try a short stint with less braking. A bit too early. Less braking doesn't work. I'll try to push one lap. Experimenting with that curb. It's quite hot. Let's see what laps can we maintain. I switched Brake bias back by 2%. A bit too late on the brakes. Second lap in a row. And still can't remember where I started braking. A bit too late on the brakes. A bit too fast. Красавчало.
Right side. Keep to the left. Clear on the right. Just hit the fastest lap. You've got the fastest lap.
Well, was ready. Maybe Davidas is ready? Testing? Okay. Did he do a pit stop? No. Lamba seems very light compared to Porsche. And the way it changes direction. Looks like it's driving on an empty tank. Although it's not. A bit wider. Hi. I'm ready if you're ready. I see you put in a decent lap. Oh, so you will watch on stream, right? I see the lines are quite okay now. Okay, let's see again. I like this. I like to use this curve as well. Here though seems the exit. Maybe can turn in a bit earlier? We'll see. If it's... Well, maybe it's okay. We'll see. I'll see more on telemetry if it's... Yeah, but on exit you have space here. You can use like a lot of this curve. In worst case scenario, if you like made a mistake and understeering a lot, you can even climb over this and not lose too much of a time. So it's not too risky. So I'd say use more, at least, because here it, from the sound it feels that you're not even on curve. Yeah, you can be here probably. Where? What am I using? You see how much of this I clip? You clipped here, but it's okay. I do that sometimes. It depends on how my braking was going. If I'm if I'm stopping okay, when I'm using this. If I'm not using. It's this section all about compromises. So it's like you can win a bit in first section, but then lose a bit in the second, or vice versa, and it can be still on the same pace. But look at this, how much here I'm cutting. And when I'm, well, not even need to use the curve, but you can use it. Let's see. Yeah, because the whole point of using all of this is then to have like mega exit. And I think if you're not turning here, then it's not worth it. Because this is like quite a big change of direction, and I think it loses speed. We'll see more in the telemetry as well, how does it compare. This looks quite okay. The line here could be, you see how this line goes, like goes straight and then a little bit to the right? Try to follow it as well. Like you can even ignore this line and maybe come for a bit more from the left, like not huge amount, just a bit more, so that you aiming directly at that at this line. And when braking, you know, pointing the car here as well. And then you have a bit more, so just, you know, it eases the entry to this corner. But this is tricky. It's downhill, very easy to understeer, very easy to pick up a 1x here, right? So I think you could be braking a little bit more to the right, and then I think also just uh, turning in a little bit later as well, just a little bit later, because now it felt that you had to wait. If you're missing apex, then just try braking a bit earlier. Here I think you're like too early to the apex. You slow down too much. Could be carrying a bit more speed or a better line if you would be more to the right, would turn in a bit later, when you would be just a bit more to the right, and then could be on exit a little bit later. So the more of a later apex when you are taking. And also I think clipping too much. You can use this flat curb, a little bit of this, but don't climb onto this one, it unsettles the car. So yeah, a bit more time here. Also, just a bit more, well, if you would be taking, would be more to the right, could be on the throttle a little bit earlier, it would automatically move you a little bit more to the right here on the exit as well, and you can use that a little bit, not too much, but more when needed. So there's a bit more space for a better exit. Here, quite okay. Yeah, quite light braking here, and then you probably could be more on the throttle here. More because then you see you're here, and then you aim the car here yourself, right? But you could be more on the throttle here. That would mean that you would be more on the left here with more speed, and you would gain time here instead of going slowly here and then bringing car to the left here. And it's quite tricky as well, because if you are like too early on the throttle, very easy to understeer and go too wide. Also easy to get the 1x here, but you can use a lot of this curb. So you can have all of your tires on the curve here. I'm not exactly sure where exactly is the 1x here, but my tires usually behind the white line around here. So yeah, but my advice is go quite strong on the throttle here, like 80%, and then modulate. You're like 80% here, 80% here, and you feel that let's say at this point you see that okay, my car is already turning a lot. When you go to 100, if you like go on the 80% of throttle here and you see that it doesn't really want to turn in, when you release a bit and then go on throttle again. I like to use this approach. It's I'm probably let's see actually. Let's see what I did the last lap. So this time I think I got, I went a little bit wider than I usually do. But you see? Here. 80 and went to the 100. Right, let's go back. Yeah, hard to find the sweet spot, but use the modulation of the throttle to like control the turning of the car, control where you will well, exit the corner. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so here I actually brake quite early. Like with my line, I end up on this curb probably around here, and almost immediately I brake. And my goal here is to cut a lot of the track. You cut a good amount, but you can do more. I think you have your tires on the curb. Yeah, you can have your tires on this part, and it's fast to cut here because you shorten the amount of time. You shorten the line, so you know the shorten amount of time you need to get around this part of the track. Yeah, and I see here you understeer quite a bit. So I think, yeah, here probably, you know, turning, braking just a bit earlier, hitting not only the curb but also this part here, so cutting a lot. You would end up a bit more on the middle, not completely on the middle, you don't need to be, but a little bit more. Here, my advice is brake on the curb, like target the car more to the curb, use the curb here. Here you, like, if you would have turned in left just a bit earlier, I think it would have been fine. There's more grip, just a bit more grip on that curb. It's like you hooks you in, and when you just roll around the curb. Oh, I saw this. Here I would recommend taking a wider line. So this exit is quite important because from here it's quite a long straight to the last corner, well, last braking zone. So I would recommend be wider here. You don't need to be completely on the left side, like on the edge of the track, but like more, maybe within one car's width to the edge, and you know, focus on the exit here. Also, since I'm taking wider line and taking more speed through the corner, I use second gear, so recommend that as well. Because, yeah, focusing on the exit here. The amount of curb that you're taking is probably good here. You don't need to cut here a lot. Here, I think you go too much to the right. It's not worth it. You can stay around the middle. You end up here, right? I would recommend maybe end up somewhere here, and then you start turning to the left. This wider line doesn't give you too much. It probably allows you not to lift on this corner, but the small lift that you need to make with this narrower line from around here, you're not losing too much speed with this small, just a tiny lift to get the car to turn in here, but you gain, you know, meters of not taking this wider line. Here, yeah, you have the right idea of getting to this part of the track. It's around where I'm taking this corner as well. What I do is take car to the right probably immediately after the curb. So you wait until the end of the curb so it won't be an off track, but after this point you want to quickly nudge the car to the right and then I'm probably braking around, I think around this part. So I want to have the car already here so that I can, you know, brake straight. This is quite okay. Okay, here be a little bit wider here. So this is fine, but when you turn in a bit early, stay around here so you have easier time following narrow line here, because here, as you do, right, you are sticking to this curb. That's fine, but when you track out wide, it loses you meters and a bit of speed probably as well. So yeah, lines. So in some places, lines I think there's like few tenths at least in the lines. Okay, one sec. I'll try to find your lap. Right. I'll take my latest lap. It was fastest, but also latest as well, so the track conditions will be similar. Right, I'm lost. Okay, I need to find you. Your latest lap as well. Okay, about fine. Turn 1. Okay, so my approach, as you can see here, is a bit earlier braking, not as hard, but the hardest part is at the start, and when trail brake, well, just softly releasing the brakes as I turn in. You can see here when that I'm having a bit more speed on the turn in. So yeah, my advice would be try to brake a bit earlier, a bit softer, and then just controlling the speed with trail braking. But yeah, you can see that you cut this, and I think that's fine. But when you have to use it, if you don't use the track, like your track position that you gain here, you gain it, you know, by losing a bit of the speed on the entry. So when you have to use it on exit, and here you can see on exit, you're not using it. You're not using the rest, the whole curb here. Also, you have to lift. So try to, you know, get the better exit here. I think with this speed, well, let's see. Maybe a bit. Yeah, I see. Maybe you're a bit too early on the throttle here. And when you're still on that curb, but when after the curb we are not able to turn in. So yeah, just maybe a bit later on the throttle here, and that would have been fine. I think it's okay. Um, okay, just checking. It was still quite fast, but I think it could have been better because I think the main point here is trying to avoid this lift. If you avoid that, maybe your like initial entry speed will be a bit lower. Still could have been better than mine because you're probably the line that you're taking here is probably better cutting over full that curb. But yeah, turn in a bit earlier when you will be as wide here and you don't need to make this big of a lift. And when you would, would have more speed on the straight and would actually been faster than me over the straight. Okay, so here I'm braking a bit more. But that can be fine. It can be fine. Your braking, I think, can be fine. Well, yeah, you're braking a bit later than me here, right? I'm trying to remember how your corner looked. You had issues with well, with the line here, right? Probably, yeah, not as much to the right. So yeah, definitely, definitely a thing to improve here. Then braking, I think, could have been can work. This kind of braking, I think it's okay. But then the throttle, try to have like bigger initial acceleration, and doesn't mean that I think you couldn't well accelerate enough because we saw that the line you were going over that curb a bit too early. If you take the a bit later wider line, a bit later exit apex, I think it would have been better. Okay. Yeah, so line again, I'd say. But yeah, if you find yourself, if you like turning in and just on the throttle just a little bit, can't go full on the throttle, just note it down as a mistake. Something went wrong there. You need to do something better. So in this case, I see this, and I remember your line was a bit wrong. Yeah, I'm breaking a bit, so quite a lot of time to gain here, it seems. 2/10 here. So try to focus on this. I break a bit later and lighter, but also like a bit longer. So I'm breaking from around here, initial braking, and then the more I turn, the more I release the brakes. And somewhere around here, I feel that I turn the car enough. If I go under the throttle here, I will be able to make the following corner. So I start going on the throttle again. Try to make your initial acceleration more quick, because well, at this point you feel the same as I do, that well, the car is doesn't want to really turn. So we release, not release, but stop increasing the throttle. But you see, I go quicker, and again, this this could be an indication that you would want to accelerate from later point on the track. So this means that you finished braking too early. So what you could try the next lap is to brake a little bit later. This way your turning in, your braking will be done a bit later on the track, at the point where you already can go more quick on the accelerator. Yeah, but main point, yeah, losing here on the on braking. So try to improve that. Okay, yeah, here you see I'm doing a lift as well, because I feel, but you can see I'm way wider here, right? So I can I don't lift as much as you do, even though I'm wider already. I'm more on the throttle because I'm using that full track, so time here lost as well. Not too much though, but still. Okay, we saw that you understeered there, right? But let's see. Okay, so braking. Oh, braking around the same part, even to less speed. But when you ease off too much, right? And when at apex you have a bit too much speed, go on the throttle a bit too early. Just a bit too early. But yeah, that's what caused you to understeer. So try to finish braking, turning, and then getting on the throttle. Yeah, a bit less braking, and you ended up with a bit too much speed here. Yep, as I mentioned here, right? Taking, going over the curb here, and with more speed, you see, as well, like a lot more speed, 10 kilometers. That's quite huge. That's another 2 tenths here over just one corner. So another big spot. And well, half of the reason is that you, since you were understeering here, are not quite as early, not as fully on the throttle here, right? So you're carrying less speed, and when braking around the same, a little bit less, but still. So yeah, you fix this. Well, you know, it's combined corner, so you fix this. This will be immediately better because more speed. You will have more speed, so the difference will not be as big. But yeah, it kind of compounds. The mistakes compounds because still was quite okay on the braking considering the speed here, but again, this ghosting is also costing you time. So another thing to note: if you feel that the car is already slowed down and already rotating, and you don't need to like add any brake pressure, that means that you started braking a bit too late, or too early, and you are done with the braking. You see that the car is already turning more than you need, but that means that you are not you don't have enough speed mid corner. you could have more speed mid-corner and ask more rotation from the car with trail braking. That's what I do here, right? I have more speed here, but I'm trail braking just with flat line already. That's all it needs, 6% of braking just to keep the weight on the front tire so we grip and turn in. And again on the exit, try finding the threshold. Don't go smoothly to threshold, go quickly to threshold and then modulate on the exit. Yeah, as I mentioned, you see here I quote quite wider with more speed, a bit more speed, alright, and then my exit here is a bit better as well. Well, maybe it's about the same. But yeah, I would recommend the line here. Braking seems to be okay here, although it seems that, yeah, you go on the throttle, well, it's, compared to me, it shows, right? A bit too early and too soft on the throttle. Looking here at the part of the track where you go on the throttle, right here, and I go on the throttle right here, right? This is the apex. This is where you need to go from braking and turning. Well, you still need to be turning, right? But this is where you go on throttle. Yeah, so a bit later. Well, this part actually interesting to me. Let's take a bit longer maybe because let's take probably before the braking. Yeah, this part. So I take this narrower line. So I need to turn in a little bit more, and since I'm turning a little bit more, I need to make this lift. But I also probably take the shorter line by a little bit. Now I'm thinking probably more like this. Alright, so it's about the same. Doesn't make too much of a difference. But the thing is, I think this line allows me to take more speed through this corner. Then I need to sacrifice just a little bit, my exit here. So would still recommend this line. Would still recommend to take this line, even if you need to make a lift. This lift is probably here, probably more than probably 90% is enough in most cases. Okay, let's see last braking zone. Yeah, as I've mentioned, right? I put the car to the right a bit earlier. And I brake a bit later as well. So here you can see quite a lot of time lost. take a look at this. I showed you the brake marker that I'm using, right? So you can try to do that as well. Try using that marker as well. Another general thing, don't know. I'd say, well, a lot of the main thing is probably the throttle, but I think it's caused by accelerating a bit too early. Try to carry more speed to the apex or closer to the apex, right? And then accelerating from later, but more quickly. So that's one thing I see in all of the corners. Improving this plus line, I think it's most of the difference. So yeah, I would suggest really to focus on just taking, I guess, a bit, yeah, a bit more speed in and accelerating later. But just in general, try to avoid this smooth acceleration. Also interested kind of here. Let's see. Let's see what it shows. So here you take the wider line, narrower line. So it actually works out okay in the end. That my one concern here is probably maybe here you need to turn a bit too much. Although that seems about the same. Yeah, okay, don't worry about this. Not the main thing. Maybe on Porsche it's fine. This line I learned driving Ferrari, maybe, yeah. Maybe on Porsche it's an okay line as well. Fucking... Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I see you improving each week. Nice to see. Jack, do we have you? Okay, let's see your lap. You can join the Discord if you want. If you're not, we can do it the same way that we did with Dovidus. Oh. Hi, Jack.
Unit.
Oh, right. Let me share my screen as well. Mm-hmm. Can you see it?
Give me a minute. Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay, let's see your lines real quick. Line itself seems okay. I don't know why it feels slow to me. It feels like you're lifting here. Maybe a bit too
Yeah.
much.
I don't know about that sort of apex here, but I know that sometimes I'm struggling with the bits with the rear through the left here, so I'm sort of lifting a tiny bit to sort of stabilize the rear.
Yeah, tiny bit is fine. Tiny bit is fine. I'm just maybe not used to the. Could be just not used to the Lambo, so that's why it looks to me. We'll see in telemetry. The line, I think
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to find. Yeah. I like this, and I think I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Okay, so this is a big thing. I'm not sure if you're watching, but Davidas was more to the right, but still not enough. You are braking completely straight, and there's more track to be used here. You see, this line is going straight, but when right here it goes a bit to the right, right? Ideally, you would want to be like on this line.
Okay.
This gives you a bit more, well, a bit
Wow.
better entry to the corner. And yeah, I think you could be a bit more to the right here. Also, I think you could be braking a bit later. We'll see in telemetry probably. Because I feel that here apex is a bit too early. You don't need to clip like this part of the curb here. Just try to like brake a bit later and turn in a bit later with probably the same amount of speed. But you know, also this wider line helps you with that. You know, you go more to the right, you turn in a bit later, and then basically only clip this part of the curb. This and this that goes, well, you don't go on this higher part. This will allow you to have better exit out of here, probably carry more speed as well. And here you're a bit, you're not wide enough. So this is scary because very easy to get 1x here, right? But you still can use a bit of this curb. I think it probably works in this place that you can't. This line probably can't be over. You know, you can have more than half the car over this line, so you can still have at least, you know, right tires on this curb. At least a little bit. I know I'm clipping it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, tricky considering the 1x here, but yeah, you can have, you know, better exit with more speed if you take this line. Okay, this felt maybe a bit too quick. Maybe brake just a bit later, probably a bit softer, and then try to, let's see, yeah, try being closer to here. I'm saying this because at this point it feels that the car oversteers a bit, and it probably loses you speed, but also these kinds of understeering moments are not helping with the tire wear. Here, what I like to do is try to clip the curb or just be as close as possible, and take a little bit narrower line, so be closer to the track. But I feel that this can work as well, but then you have to carry more speed and nail the exit as well. I think here since you oversteered a bit here, at this point you are like a bit slower when you should be. So my advice here is brake a bit earlier and softer. Try to hit this. Try to keep the car tight. And when here, it feels from the sound that maybe you're not on the throttle enough here. Also tricky. Very easy to go wide here with the throttle. But yeah, there's still more speed here. I think I go more straight. We'll compare line and telemetry, but let's see. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I think you can be a bit more to the left here.
Okay.
So yeah, and that then helps you with the following corners. Yeah, I like the amount you're cutting. Let's see again. Okay, the line here is quite okay. I'd say you can be using more of this curb, what I can see. Far chase, right? I'd say you don't even need to turn too much right here. You can just go, not this, straight. Like at this point, go straight. Well, maybe not that, not that much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but here you can go straight instead of going here.
Right. Okay.
You know, just cut to the curb,
Yeah.
and you can use a lot of that curb. Ideally, probably, well, let's see, not this. Ideally, probably again on this part only.
Yeah.
Don't go over here; it's too high. But yeah, you can use a lot, and just try to keep the car, you know, tight over the curb for the whole duration until you like start exiting the corner. I like this. I was watching this lap earlier. I was surprised how quickly Lamba stopped here. But I think you're using a lot of brake pressure here, right? So yeah,
Yes.
that's probably why.
Yeah. So I took advice from last week,
Yeah.
and I put the brake cap at 80%. But yeah, I'm trying my best to sort of modulate closer to the apex, but it just doesn't feel natural in the moments.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was retrospectively thinking about this advice and you know, of capping the brakes, and I'm not sure if I like it. I think it's still better when doing 100%. But if you can try to modulate the brakes, at least at some amount, you know, when you should try to do that. If you try and if you can't, there's no way you can, you know, it just when yeah, 80% is better than 100%. Yeah, because with more pressure, right? It was surprising for me to see how quickly you stop, but when you just lose out, you know, the precision and the speed over the corners. But this looks quite okay, considering.
Yeah, no, yeah, not gonna like on that lap where you overtook me at turn 1, I was just watching you from behind this middle sector, and yeah, that corner in particular, I improved so much by watching the line you took.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, that's sort of like a later apex for. Cause I was doing more like a continuous apex earlier. Yeah, I gained so much time by going for that later apex.
And I think, considering your brake and braking inputs, I think later apex for you is probably always better. So not even in the corner that where that makes sense, but since take these corners for example, right? Um, you brake here, and then you basically just goes through here, right?
Mm.
You could be braking later, and then probably more to the middle of the track, then turning the car and then accelerating. Here I'm not so sure actually, because the following straights are so short, it's not sure if it's worth it. But here, for example, I'm braking very early here, right? And just a little bit. But for you, it might be actually better just to go deep and brake heavily, uh, and then turn the car and then accelerate. Not sure if that will be better. Just something to try out.
Yeah.
But well, the this seems okay. If you can't do better, with the if you are braking, maybe that other approach could be used, because for the lines I'm taking, I need to constantly be trail braking to maximize the speed that I'm taking through corners. If you can't do that, then just maybe and you probably don't need to take it to the extreme. You don't need to brake way later, maybe just a bit later, and a bit later apex. That I think there could be time in that to be gained. Even here, I think maybe you could brake even a bit more later. And the one thing I don't like, is when braking a lot, it's better to have the steering straight. So maybe try to straighten the car, maybe a bit earlier. Maybe you will be a bit tighter, not as wide, but you will be braking with the straight wheel. That should be more effective. And maybe you could try braking even a bit more later. This way, although this seems again quite okay, but just a different approach to try out. Okay, this is a big one. So here you can actually use a lot of the track. You can have all of your car on this. I'm not sure how much blue you can use. I'm not really using it. I think you can't use it, but I have the full car here. So what I do, but it's tricky because there is one X right here. So what I do, I basically get off the curb, this curb, and then immediately go to the right. So I get the car fully on this before this. This is my brake marker. Yeah.
Oh wow! That's your marker. Wow. Okay.
Is your later or
yeah. I was sort of going like halfway between the two marks.
Yeah, but that makes sense. If you brake harder, you can brake later, but it not necessarily better. You see how I move the car here, and then on the brakes. Yeah, because you can brake later. You probably gain speed on the first part, but when I'm braking lighter than you, and I have car that is settled better, for the following corner. So I'll gain, on the exit. Although I feel that with these kind of corners, this is tricky because of the track you need to be off track basically.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but with these simple corners where it's just straight braking zone, and when just taking a corner, take normal exit without not SS or anything, I think you're not losing as much. So your approach I think will work quite okay in these kind of corners. In those composite type of corners, where you need to like compromise one corner to get exit for another one, with those more complex scenarios where you will be losing more. Okay, back to your, let's see your final part of the track. Of the lap.
It's always, yeah, but drunk out is just guesswork really. It's different every time. It's not great.
You mean this part?
No, the corner, the actual corner. Yes, it is. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I skipped that. That's
what the best I could. Yeah, I think I was actually like purple last sector that lap. For my laps.
Yeah. So the thing that I think you can easily improve is using all of the track here. So this, you will just be a bit wider. You can take more speed through here. So I think that's just automatic. Free time. Yeah, and this I think it's okay. The wider line, I like this. I think you can cut more here. So this, no reason why you can be tied here. Just be tied here, and then go to the right, after the finish line from here. This way, just go straight from this point straight to that point. Take this diagonal line.
Okay.
So you don't take these extra extra meters. Okay, let's. I know. I know what I will see in the telemetry, but
I've been trying, okay, but I've been trying.
Okay.
Whether it's any good or not, no comment, but.
Okay, let's try and have a look. Okay, so yeah, this is immediately better, I think, because earlier it would be 100%, right?
Yeah.
And this now almost matches, the beginning part almost matches what I do, the amount of braking.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see, I'll trail brake a little bit deeper, but yeah, not losing too much here, right? A bit on the trail braking phase, just a little bit, but overall seems quite okay. Only a tenth in this corner, so quite fine. Yeah, and this is usually I'd say it's try maybe being on the throttle later instead of going in and then out, but probably better than coasting. If the car is turning, you know, and you lost too much speed, I think it's fine. If you know, if you can't trail brake. If you can, you know, like hold on the brakes just a little bit later, that would have been even better. But yeah, maybe you could start trail braking from a bit earlier as well. So maybe you know how you about matching what I do here, you know, so you would match closer what I'm doing here as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, if you can, you can. If not, that's fine. Okay, about 80%. I'm also breaking around 80% here, so similar. But yeah, wider line. I think yeah, wider line and later exit could work for you here as well. Yeah, if you could exchange same as in turn one, this little bump and throttle with trail braking, that 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 would have been that would be a big improvement.
Right.
I completely understand why you need this bump, because at this point you're just coasting, you know. You feel that you not have enough speed. Maybe you don't even, you know, this might not even be your exit point, right, where you're fully on the throttle, but you feel that at this point you're too slow and should be carrying more speed. So that's yeah, fine. So, but yeah, but that means you need to be releasing the brakes a bit earlier, because at this point you felt that you braked too much, right? And maybe then you could, well, be braking a bit later, but that would probably um still that was probably still compromise your like entry to the corner. So yeah, trail braking, biggest issue. Right, and these these are the parts that will hurt you the most. Kind of these kind of corners where you know you would need soft, longer braking.
Yeah.
And you know it's difficult for you to do that. But yeah, you see, not 80%, so that's great. That's great already. You know, you're modulating, feeling it a bit.
That's yeah. That's really interesting. The breaking you're doing. It's like, obviously, like with these like two apexes, it's almost like you treating the first one as more like a kink, and the second one is the actual corner. Whereas treating them both like corners, like you're you're
It is kind of like that. Yeah, just yeah, I'm not. You know, I still want to be getting speed here. I still want to be having good exit here. But for that, I don't need to, you know, completely stop in this part. So I find the amount of speed that I can carry through here, so that I end up here and I end up here. And when, you know, I try to you know get that every lap. But yeah, this is like just like a small kink where I break through it, end up here in the middle of the track on throttle again, and this is similar. Also, well, this is kind of like a straight, not even a corner, right?
yeah.
And then here you brake for the corner. But yeah,
Oh yeah. You're like half the braking for that next one than I am. Wow.
right. But But this wasn't too bad. This worked out quite fine for you, I'd say. Then on the exit, maybe. Ah, I hear you on the exit, right? Okay, okay. On the throttle. But the portion is quite fine. Might be even faster than me through here. But then, yeah, you went a bit wider here.
Yeah.
I go a bit
Yeah.
tighter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I think
mhm.
think think the rear end tried to step out there. On the exit, which I was trying to, yeah. I was then trying to correct for which then.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, the biggest part here probably could be taking this tighter line through the curb. I think, yeah, this kind of improvement should work fine for you. Okay. Yeah, this approach of braking later, since you feel more comfortable braking more, it's probably fine. Probably best you can do. Uh, Besides that, you know, try improving the trail brake. Not sure. If you could, you see what I'm doing here? Just holding the brake, just a few percent. If you can find that spot, 5%, and do this and this, and then hold 5%, this will allow you to gain a lot of time in a lot of corners.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You see what I'm doing here. So what I would recommend, to carry more speed, well, either by braking later, I'm not sure what will work best. It's uncharted territory for me, but
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
either braking later, so what you did there, or um, starting to release earlier, so that at this point you release because you already feel that you have stopped enough. You have correct speed for the corner. You don't need to go any lower. Um, so if you would start um, releasing earlier, this release earlier, not sure how early, maybe even by half you could try to do that, but then also try to do it as slow as possible, and then on the end just try to do what I did here. Just keep it keep holding it on those 5%, and this you know this I think will allow you to have the better speed during the whole braking zone, and also will allow you to take corners with more speed, because I'm holding this not because I need, not for stopping. Still, I carry enough speed until this part, so I can be holding this and not being too slow, because it keeps the weight on the front tires. I'm braking a bit, so the car is shifted a bit towards the front. The weight is shifted on the front, and fronts have more grip. That means I can, take the corner with more speed. So yeah, if you can try to do this, I think it could help you.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't heard of that one before, but yeah, I'll definitely try. Yeah. No, honestly, it's like work for a lot of corners, like
Um,
uh,
so you see, right?
yeah,
I'm not doing it for all corners, but if that's if you could do that and that is easier for you than just trail braking more slowly, then I think you could use it as a tool in all of the corners.
right.
Yeah, yeah, just try.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, this here, I think even in Lamba, I haven't driven Lamba, I've driven uh, Audi here. It should be similar. I think smaller lift is enough here. You see, maybe you even go a bit too tight. With you could just lift less and go a bit more wider.
Okay.
That's one part that I think you could improve. And here, yeah, you brake later. That's fine. As we talked, try using more of the track here. And you see again, I do this just like heading to the apex. If I feel that I already slowed down enough, instead of coasting, I release the brakes and but still keep a little bit, so
Yeah.
that I have more grip for the corner. Yeah, this could be one thing. I think if you can do that, it's great. I think if you're having trouble releasing the brakes slowly, it could be that this holding this amount will also be difficult, but try.
Yeah.
Okay. And here I go wider over that curve, but it won't make too much of a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Any other questions maybe?
No, no, that's it. No, it's been really, really interesting to see some of these techniques and that sort of 5% holds, some of this stuff, and yeah, uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the come back next week. It's really interesting for me
yeah,
to see if if we can make
yeah,
something of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'm trying my best. I really am.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying.
the time is not bad, right? Like
Yeah, yes,
I'm
we want,
I'm
we want.
impressed. I mentioned last week already, but I'm impressed with the times that you're able to extract from your setup.
Yeah, no, it's just sort of how I'm really used to driving. Really, it's just like like how the sort of experience of it is how you know how to drive. Like I know how to drive in my style,
Right.
and yeah, and like and so it's like trying to sort of switch to the style isn't just battling my foot. It's also battling my brain of
Yeah.
thinking, why am I lifting on the brakes here? Why am I lifting on the brakes? I'm not gonna make the corner. I'm not gonna make the corner, or I'm losing time by not being hard on the brakes. It's
Um, so one exercise that I would recommend would be picking one corner. Mm, let's see, what could be a suitable corner here? And have you used the quick reset feature in racing before?
no, I haven't. No.
Uh, I would recommend looking into that, or not necessarily, but it could be. So I would say, you know, just go out on track and don't focus at times on don't focus on nothing, but you know, just on the inputs. Try releasing as slowly as possible, and you know, leaving this small, you know, try, you know, replacing this bump with of the accelerator that you have here with this just like 5% of the brakes, and don't focus on anything else. The reason I mentioned the quick reset, you know, it's the feature where you can set a point like before the braking zone, and then just do it again and again and again and again and again, just one corner. So you know, you could use that for training as well.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, yeah. You know, some stuff to do over the rest of the week and the weekends.
Yeah, great. Wish you luck. So that's it for today.
Yeah, thank you so much, and see you on track on Sunday.
Yeah, see you.
See you.
I think the session will end up a little bit shorter today, but that's fine. To have nothing against finishing before midnight. So yeah, that's it for today. See you guys on Saturday. We'll be doing 12-hour Sebring with Absolute Motorsport team, and on the Sunday, where we will be doing the second round of UKSR GT3 Championship. Bye for now.